Renaissance architecture is the European architecture of the period between early 14th and early 16th centuries in different regions. It demonstrates a conscious revival and development of certain elements of ancient Greek and Roman thought and material.
Florence Cathedral, also known as Cathedral di Santa Maria del Fiore, an example of Renaissance architecture. The construction took 130 years to complete. It was begun in 1296, designed by Arnolfo di Cambio, and completed by 1436 with a dome designed by Filippo Brunelleschi.
The Royal Monastery of El Escorial in Madrid, Spain is the most important architectural monument of the Spanish Renaissance. Construction began in 1563 and ended in 1584. It was designed by architects Juan Bautista de Toledo and Juan de Herrera.
Juan Bautista de Toledo was the original architect of this structure, and Juan de Herrera took over when he died. Although Herrera was influenced by the style of Sebastiano and Borrozzi, the final product was uniquely Spanish. Tempio at San Pedro in Montorio. The Tempio, or the small temple in English, is one of the finest examples of high Renaissance architecture. It was built in 1502 in the middle of the larger church rectangular plaza, designed by Donato Bramante.
The Church of San Giorgio Maggiore in Venice, Italy, is a 16th century Benedictine church. It was designed by architect Andrea Palladio and completed in 1610. Its use of white marble forms a focal point as it gleams above the waters of the lagoon. The facade is brilliantly white and represents Palladio's solution to the difficulty of adapting a classical temple facade to the form of the Christian church, with its high nave and low side aisles, which had always been a problem. The Château de Chambord in Chambord, France, is a great example of French Renaissance architecture, which blends traditional French medieval forms with Renaissance structures. The roofscape of Chambord contrasts with the masses of masonry and has often been compared with the skyline of a town.
Baptistry of St. John. The building has 9 equal sides. It was originally constructed in sandstone, and it was decorated with white and dark green marble by Arnolfo di Cambio. The east doors were named the Gates of Paradise by Michelangelo.
Certosa di Pavia in Lombardy, northern Italy, is a monastery and complex completed in 1495. The Certosa possesses an important collection of stained glass windows as well as many notable decorative sculptural works. It was designed by the architect Marco Solari. Antwerp City Hall in Antwerp, Belgium, was designed by Cornelius Floris de Vrient as well as several other architects and completed in 1565. The building incorporates both Flemish and Italian influences. The low arcaded ground story is of rusticated stone.
The height of the dome is 374 feet and the aisle is 75 feet. The material they use for the exterior of the basilica is faced with polychrome marble panels with different shades of green, pink, and surrounded with white.
The Cathedral of Florence is built as a basilica, having a wide central nave of 4 square bays with an aisle on either side. The whole plan forms a Latin cross. The nave and aisles are separated by wide pointed Gothic arches resting on composite piers.
In 1864, a competition was opened for a new design for the facade of the basilica. Emilio de Fabris won the competition. The work began in 1876 and completed in 1887. He uses white, green, and pink marble for the Gothic facade.
The building of such a masonry dome posed many technical problems. Brunelleschi looked to the Great Dome of the Pantheon in Rome for solutions. It used thousands of bricks to make up the dome and is still the largest masonry dome in the world.
The basilica is one of Italy's largest churches ever constructed, with an area of 89,340 square feet, with the capacity of 30,000 people. It is one of the greatest structures of Gothic art and the first Italian Renaissance. Filippo Brunelleschi, an Italian architect and designer, born in 1377, he was known for architectural, sculpture, and mechanical engineering. He was considered to be a founding father of Renaissance architecture. One of the famous buildings he worked on is the Cathedral of Santa Maria del Fiore. Donato Bramante, an Italian architect, born in 1444 and died in 1514. He was known for architecture and painting. He introduced Renaissance architecture to Milan and the High Renaissance style to Rome. One of the structures he worked on is the small temple. Michelangelo, an Italian sculptor, painter, and architect, born in 1475 and died in 1564. Some of his work rank among the most famous existing, such as St. Peter's Basilica, Palace of the Holy Office, and Porta Pia.
The Sistine Chapel in Vatican City is known for its impressive painted ceiling done by Michelangelo. In order to reach the ceiling, Michelangelo had to build a scaffold of his own. The painted area is about 131 feet long by 43 feet wide, meaning Michelangelo painted well over 5,000 square feet of frescoes. In the Renaissance period, ceiling design was developed to its highest pitch of originality and variety. 3 types were elaborated, the first being coffered ceilings, the second being wholly or partially vaulted ceilings, and the third being essentially one large framed picture, as in the Doge's Palace in Venice.